What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to Change Your Lives. Hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. We got an awesome show planned for you guys tonight. Tonight we'll be discussing a subject matter that I think is real near and dear to my heart, and that's accountability. And tonight we're asking the question: are we teaching our kids about accountability? Um, Me being active in the community for the past 20 years in regards to being a youth mentor, youth coach, uh, member of the 100, been on different boards here and there from USA Track and Field and other community organizations. Um, Dealing with young people, I'm real funny about accountability. It's one of the biggest sticklers I have, and there are a lot of things that are going on out there that I think a lot of times kids are missing the proper guidance and extra instruction when we start talking about accountability and mentoring. So that's why I wanted a discussion with you guys tonight, talking about, are we really teaching our kids about accountability? Right now, again, we're on Change the Live, hosted by your truly Deonte Burden. We're streaming live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. If you haven't noticed, I'm here at the house today. I mentioned last week's show that one of our producers on the at the radio station, Sleep 316, we had her father's funeral today, and I just want to extend my deepest condolences to Reek and her family and stuff like that. Reek and Lab done a lot for me over the years and stuff like that. But it was good to see them lay her father to rest, in an awesome manner and everything. But again, I want to send my deepest condolences out to them. Let me see if we got anything we need to think about. Anything in particular? No, everything going good and stuff like that. Um, I did, we are going to talk about the Birmingham band director. I did a couple posts on social media, especially on TikTok. I got called bootlicker a lot, with the hell, whatever the hell that means. But it's been real cool. But that's one of the main reasons I want to talk about accountability, because all the time we hear, you see, and the news, kids get in trouble for this, kids get in trouble for that. And keep in mind, guys, I'm a youth mentor, so I can tell you right now, dealing with kids all the time, there are a lot of kids doing great things. A lot of kids doing great things, staying out of trouble, either going to school, going in the military, or just going out there being productive members of society. There are a lot of kids out there doing the right things. So I don't want to paint no narrative kids not doing well or anything like that. But we do have a lot of kids that aren't. And it seems like you can turn on any kind of social media platforms, you can see a young person, breaking into this, slapping this, taking this, fighting that. I mean, even the whole advent of when you see kids fighting and you see somebody can be getting the hell beat out of them, somebody getting robbed, and you can see adults taking out cameras and recording it. I mean, that ain't some of the most stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life, but that's the thing I want to get at. Like, where we getting at as a society where we've got so hardened that when we see folks doing wrong, you can't, I can understand sometimes you might be hesitant to want to check people get involved with certain things, but just condone it. It's just like let kids fight, let young people fight. And it's like no kind of pension on, any kind of development. Um, Even we start looking big picture wise, because if you can just doing a research, I think it's under 10%, and I'm thinking it's an odd number, 3, 5, or 8, one of those percents. Kids, reading that grade level in the state of Georgia. I mean, it's crazy, especially at the elementary level. And guys, I do a lot of going to these elementary schools, reading to these kids and stuff like that. Man, these damn kids can't damn read. Like when I say read, I'm not talking about they may can see certain words and stuff like that, but just understand comprehension and stuff like that. Shit, but we in some trouble. And I don't know what the hell parents doing to get at home and just sitting down to kind of just do some little refresher work and stuff like that. But man, you start talking about, from a point when you get out of high school, you got to be out in society and do for your own. Man, it is a shortage of damn, standardized skill label. Just being able to do certain things. We want to project certain paths on our children with certain things. I don't think um, uh, the future is real bright with that. Do I think most kids uh, are heading in the wrong direction? Absolutely not. I think most kids are good kids doing certain things. But we start talking about subject matter tonight in regards to teaching our kids accountability. Far too often, things aren't getting addressed in a proper manner. What I mean by proper manner, number one, you know, stating hell what you did wrong. And when I was let's just go back and what happened yesterday. On yesterday, and I want to just say this, guys. I no laughing, guy. You must straw to stir everything. Go got my coffee, so I don't really be dragging too bad tonight. I actually write my shows a month out, so just coincidentally, what happened yesterday in regards to we started talking about the Birmingham band director and tonight's show. Just coincidentally, the show's already going to be entitled this. But when I put the video on yesterday with the Birmingham band director and discussed it, it was just amazing to me the amount of people. And I understand, and I'm very open minded to know that everybody don't see the world the way Deonte does. I get it, right? But I do think everybody from just with a regular moral compass knows directly what's right and wrong, right? Guys, I do want to get one quick disclaimer. Again, this is Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. Let me fix this back on the TikTok. The main hub is the Change Your Lives YouTube channel. So if you Google Change Your Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden, the YouTube channel come up. You can check out the whole video in its whole entirety with that. If you have to leave out, you have to go back or anything like that. But what I was saying is that when we're talking about, I was looking at the situation what happened in Birmingham with the band director. You see the whole video in its entirety, because I think what I was looking at a lot of comments yesterday was, what is the police doing dealing with the band? What is the police? Why are the police bothering the band directors? Why are they involved in everything? But let's be honest for a second, guys. Unless you totally been oblivious to things, if you go to a high school football game, there is all kind of shit going on. Shootings, robbings, and all kind of stuff. So you sitting there looking at police got to clear the premises and everything, get everybody out of there safe and sound, get everybody home to their parents and everything. And if you don't know that happens, you probably need to go to a game or two, because I know for the past 2 or 3 weeks nationwide, that's been a big thing on the news in regards to shootings in high school football games. I'm here in, South Metro Atlanta, and I grew up in the city, but I guarantee you any predominantly black football team games or in the city games, they got metal detectors. They got you getting warned, may get frisked. They have a very super strength of police presence at most of the games, and they ain't got them. They ain't got them just because they black. They got them because folks cutting the damn food like that. They cutting the damn food at the games, and that's one of the things I want to talk about when I'm seeing the comments that are on the videos. Guys, feel free to leave comments in the chat. When I see the comments in the videos about police doing this and police doing that, okay, now I'm not oblivious to think that, okay, then you might not run across an officer that might be a jerk. But at the end of the day, I think the vast majority of them trying to do their job and get home to their families. But when I see the comments about the police harassing the band and things like that, come on now, it's safety. Now, it's more energy to me that will go towards how police are handling the youth or dealing with the band director than, like, why the hell are y'all cutting up at these games? Why the hell are y'all shooting at the games? Why y'all robbing at the games? But people don't do that. And that's why I want to talk about the personal accountability. Because one thing about it, when I was looking at when the officers came and told the guy, hey man, the game had been over approximately 18 minutes. And I will say, guys, if you have not, please go look at the video in its entirety. And you make your own assumption from that. However you feel, how you feel. Y'all know how I get down. I ain't trying to convince people, and I ain't gonna call you out your name or say, you're dumb or crazy, or whatever. You feel how you feel, and you're entitled to that. But what I do ask people is that make sure you look at everything that's entirety, and be ready, especially when you talk to me, to have an adult discussion. Because just how you feel, how you think, I don't really roll with that. If you seen it and you see one thing, I can respect that. But just what you heard or snippets, that's not going to work. But if you look at the video as entirety, when they were telling the guy, hey, let's go, it's game been over almost 20 minutes. He told the damn officer, get out my face. Not once, not twice, but he told him approximately 7 times. I said 6 yesterday on a video, but I looked at it again 7 times. You have all these kids sitting there watching. That's their band director. And like I tell you guys, I've been a youth mentor, youth coach, and I talk about blind influence a lot. When I say blind influence, I mean because that's Mr. Deonte or Coach Burden or whatever. People follow me blindly because they trust that I'm steering them in the right direction. And when you yield blind influence, you have to. It's a high degree of accountability that you got to have, a high degree, because at the end of the day, you understand that people will follow you regardless, and a lot of people misuse that. They'll sit there and put out certain things where, you coaching, hey, the ref's cheating. They don't want to give us a break. And sometimes the ref ain't ref. I had two of my sons were actual youth league referees. And I never, in anybody known of them, we even think about cheating. They just want to make their money, get the hell on. I'm pretty sure they miss calls, but cheating is one whole thing, whole another thing. But sometimes, people just can't handle hell. Somebody whooped your team. You not as good coach as the other coach, and your player they just weren't ready for that particular day. But it's easy to say somebody cheated or somebody took something away from you because you didn't do right. And when I seen the band director carrying on the way he was, telling the police officer, get out of his face, get out of his face. He's like, and the officer like, hey man, you really gonna tell them? He actually had him, get louder. He's like, you really gonna do that? And he got louder. And then from that point, man, that's when they say, man, we're gonna lock you up. But what got me, what really got me when they started arresting them and everybody talking about the tasing, how all these people, especially men, other men came and said, hey man, that's not necessary. That's not necessary. What are y'all doing? Now I just know, I know everybody's friends different, but when I'm wrong, or even if I'm potentially not in the best situation, my friends, hey D, come on, Poops, man, let's get the hell on, leave that alone, let's move. My friends are gonna do that. My friends are gonna watch me get arrested. My friends are gonna tell me, shut the hell up, man, come on, we'll take care of that later. That's what my friends are gonna do. But his punk ass friends sat there and seen them do that stuff. Then when they came down, they fussing with the police officer. But they got away with it. They stepped back quick. Police officer telling them, well, we'll lock you up too. Right? I know my friends, my friends, they're gonna get their butt whipped with me. Right? My friends are. My friends are gonna get beat up with me, and everything like that. That's what I'm saying. Ask me how I know. My friends ain't gonna sit there and watch me get jumped. So you sit there and say your friends can bark, why you doing this? Why you doing that? And never stopped you before, with the steps leading up to that. That's where you sit there and say to yourself, man, they're probably the best friends. And all these men sat there and watched them carry on the way he did, or barking when he got arrested. And then when they trying to arrest him, hey, man, just put your hand behind your back. Look, you see that it's going in that direction. It's going that direction. I've been in those situations dealing with police and everything. Listen, I'm not going to go get my butt whooped. These guys got one, got one hand in the cuff. They're just going to get this over with. And when he was just going to be in non-compliance that last time, they started tasing him and everything. And it's amazed me. Sometimes people will say, well, why you didn't have to do it this way? You could have did it that way. And I say most of these people have never been in positions of leadership. Leadership, I ain't talking about, team mom or, such and such at the PTA. I'm talking about actually where they had to make decisions, hard decisions for people in regards to, you might make a decision. You have people's safety in mind. You have you have to make decisions where some people you looking big picture wise, but people you care about that you like a lot, you got to make a decision that's probably they're not gonna like. Been in them kind of tough situations, and a lot of times I think it's easy for people to sit here and say, well, they can do it this way, they can do it that way. The word that I think everybody that them fell out of Webster Dictionary, de-escalate. Everybody's saying you can de-escalate, and that's what police officers are supposed to do. Number one, I think people give officers too much damn credit in regards to think that, hey, that they probably some kind of magicians, they can do it. But if you ever tried to have a civil conversation or calm somebody down that's on 10, shit, it ain't gonna happen. And if you look at that video, that band director's on 10. He wasn't calming down. He told the officer, get out my face. What can you de-escalate with that? I just want to know. Somebody put in the chat, how do you de-escalate somebody that's sitting there, get out my damn face home? He said, man, you're gonna go to jail. Do what you gotta do. If you wouldn't do what you gotta do, he like, so I'm gonna call you going to jail, I'm gonna call some more people. All right, then. I mean, he really was there. And you sit there and look at that. What can you calm down with that? What can you de-escalate with that? And that's the thing about it. I really think that we got to get out of this. they pushing over the game, they taking over. No, I know Birmingham just like Atlanta, just like probably you go to Miami, Memphis, Dallas, Houston. They cut the damn food after a game. People out there busting and shooting and robbing and everything like that. So let's not get. That's what I'm saying. Let's not act like we don't know what the hell is going on after these games. You just can't. Broncos Smith CDA say you can't, and that's one of the things I think a lot of times people just want to avoid. Just saying that what you can't do. You know what I'm saying? Thanks, Sexy Redbone. I think that when people sit there and look at people, people speaking in terms of what another person can and can't do, I think a lot of that stems from just not knowing how difficult that is, right? When you be in them tough situations like that, I'm telling you, you got to sit there and make some tough decisions. And when I seen the whole thing that went down with the band director, I was really, really disappointed because I read it. I'm reading the comments. People saying two grown folks could have handled it differently. You can't handle all this stuff differently. You can't if you have really. And I don't know how many people have actually had an argument or something tough with a family member or close friend. If they're not trying to hear your point, they're just not trying to hear your point. So nothing you can say about it, right? So you just have to really be realistic how far that can go. And when you're in a position like that, I know, like, I'm just looking at the films. I didn't see the officers going, I didn't see that. I think people just had a problem with it. But see, the last part that messed me up when I seen the press conference with the band director, and the band director was sitting there saying, I'm an educator. He's an educator. Now, you's a whole damn man talking to you, an educator. I never heard him bring the word he's an educator up when he had an interaction with a cop. You're an educator. Kids shouldn't have seen this and that. All that stuff he turned to a damn punk in front of cameras. If you really felt that, listen, we playing this music, I don't feel like they should have disturbed it. Regardless of what you know what's going on, stand on that. Stand on that and say, like, hey, listen, man, we were playing the music. I know we should have left, but I wanted to really play the set that we planned to do. The officers came and told us what to do, but I believe that we should keep playing. Say that. Don't talk about it, just dwell on where I can't remember. That was just the biggest punk shit I've ever seen in my life. As a man, if I'm wrong or however I feel, well, just tell you if I feel the way I feel, I'm not going to say I forgot what happened, but they shouldn't have handled me like that. Be a man. Say why you did it, right? Because from that point, I can have more respect for you with that. I might not like it, but act like you just forgot. They just beat you up because you didn't know. Come on, man. That ain't cool. And the problem come up. You sit there. What happened in the grand scheme of things? Yeah, children see a lack of respect for authority, because at the end of the day, regardless how you feel about police officers and everything, they are there to protect and serve. If somebody breaking your house, we are not in the Wild West, right? Somebody breaking your house, you get attacked or something like that, you're calling police. You're not calling the Ghostbusters, right? You that's who you calling. So many people say certain things like they just don't believe in order. And I'm just saying that when I see certain things, we're gonna go into the stuff that we can work on with kids. But when we start talking about teaching kids about accountability, it's amazing to me that people are really professing so much lack of interest and respect and authority or accountability, but they do everything that requires it. Get up every day, go to work, follow rules, stay on the structure of work, stay on the structure of work, do everything they got to do to actually get paid. Because if you don't give a damn, you wouldn't give a damn. You do what you want to do. And the vast majority of people don't do that, because we know in a civil society, you can't just go out here doing what the hell you want to do. You're not going to last long. You're not going to last long, right? And that's the thing. I think that when you don't teach your children how to be accountable, how to address certain things, you're going to have an adult like that. And we've talked about this a lot. There are a lot of grown people, men and women, that have grown up and they just don't know how to deal with accountability. And when you're an adult that doesn't know how to deal with accountability, you're only going to go so far in life. You aren't going to take responsibility of, your future, your career, your children, all kind of stuff, because you're always going to blame somebody else why shit didn't go right for you. right? And I understand circumstance how things go, but at some point, we all got to get to a point where we can just say, well, listen, I messed up. One of the biggest things I used to tell kids, just with coaching football, kid make a mistake, drop a ball, get a penalty or something like that. Hey, we got to talk. Coach, I ain't do it. That wasn't me. And I would always tell kids this, and it's the same thing that can be applicable to any adult. Until you admit what you did wrong, we can't fix it. Now, we can go back and forth that you did it, you did it, whatever, right? Something happened. We can say that. But when you don't, nobody wants to seem like they the cause or something. Guys, again, this is Change the Life, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. We're talking about, are we teaching our kids about accountability? But again, something happened. And the kid be adamant, Coach, I didn't do it. Coach, I didn't do it. No, Coach, I didn't. It wasn't me. I ain't missed my block. Son, somebody did it. Ain't nothing wrong. I never tripped on any kid. I coached 20 years. So if any one of my former players or whatever and stuff like that, and I love seeing y'all, some of them married, got families and stuff. If you come in, you can say it, but I never tripped on you making a mistake. I trip on you continue to make the same mistake that we done addressed. That's when problems arise. But the thing of it is, once something happened, son, you got to admit it. Once you admit it, we can fix it. We can't fix a damn thing until you admit it. And that's one of the biggest things I think that we miss with our children, trying to talk about, personal accountability and growing, addressing certain things. How many times have parents got that phone call from the school saying this about the kid? And I'm a father of 4 sons, and anybody knows me. I have to, and I've had to tell several times to the school, don't call my ex-wife, don't call her when we married at the time, call me. Every damn thing go through me. Not in a bad way. I'm just saying, call me. And because I would get up there and ask questions instead of being totally, complicit with the story, I'm gonna find out, because I'm gonna back the teachers up, because the teachers are with my children more than me. But I'm gonna make sure, everything sound right, because from my 28, finna be 29-year-old to my 13-year-old, have I heard some BS over the years? Yeah, I heard BS, but most of the time it was my children BSing and not the teachers. And I say that probably 98% of the time it was my children. And I got some great kids, don't get me wrong. But when you get those calls from the school to find out, hey, what's going on, and fixing the problem, as opposed to they always picking with my kid. How many times have y'all heard the whole old saying when a kid gets in trouble? Guys, feel free to leave something in the comments if you got any questions or anything want to add to the conversation. But how many times have you heard the old comment, well, they got in trouble because they started hanging around with the wrong crowd? That was one big thing. I grew up in the 90s, so in the 90s, pretty much you were selling dope, especially if you're anywhere from, let's say, 40 to 55 years old. You said maybe 60, you were selling dope. Our parents were pretty much on it. So most of us are getting in trouble, getting into it with, getting in the dope game. And our parents and uncles and everybody else were just strung out on shit, right? So that's how that 90s era of growing up was, which I think, especially in the African-American community, has had a super impact, but really nobody talks about it because it was so damn embarrassing. Because, like I said, so many of our parents was on drugs, and I think that left a lot of trauma. We lost 2 generations of leadership, that being my generation, like I said, that 40 to 55 generation, our parents' generation. So it was like almost, our generation got locked up, and our parents' generation was on the dope. So it was like we lost a lot of leadership with that, going through all that. But one of the biggest things I would hear people say all the time when I was younger, yeah, they start hanging with the wrong crowd and everything. And the funny thing about the wrong crowd is that all their parents say the same shit about your child. All their parents feel your ass was the damn, and it was just funny. Nobody is sitting there saying that their kid was the damn problem. Nobody want to say my son's fucked up, but now nobody wants to say that or anything, just because once you admit that your child messed up, you got to fix it. It's easier to say that they got to hang with the wrong crowd, because at that point, it's off of you. It's off of your child. And that's why so many people continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again, because he did bad because he was hanging with them. She shouldn't have been hanging with them. She was good till she started hanging with them. And like I said, those people, the thems, their parents felt the same way about their other child. That's how that was. But that's how that cycle keep going. Always, as soon as they hang with that person and stuff like that. Knowing all the while, they partners. and they making bad decisions and doing wrong things together. All of them selling dope, all of them stealing, all of them robbing, all of them out there jumping on folks and doing things like that. But until if there never was a situation where people actually just sit there like shit, address that one thing with their child, because as parents, a lot of times we don't want to be embarrassed. We don't want to be embarrassed. We don't want to sit. Our kids, I talk about it a lot. When our kids do well, we get too much credit. When they do wrong, we get too much blame, right? If it do feel good, man, your son's smart. He real respectable. He doing, man. Yeah, that dude there, man. Yeah, boy, you did a good job with them. It make you feel good as a parent. Like, damn, well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. But then they were like, oh shit, they go Deonte's son. They got a little roguish ass boy, whatever. And make sure that damn cool. All right, cool. And people just like, oh shit, here you go. Yeah, that's Deonte's son or whatever. And you sitting there embarrassed, damn near like want to be like an ostrich and stick your damn head in the sand because you so embarrassed by what your kid has done. And far too often people will try to deflect that kind of stuff because again, now we done got that shit off of us. So we think, and to push that. But no, a lot of time it's your ass. It's your ass just won't say and pump the brakes and stop the leak. You see it dripping, but you need to sometimes just stop and fix the leak. And that's where I think a lot of parents drop the ball. And when we talk about tonight's show, in regards to are we teaching our kids about accountability, a lot of parents don't want to do that. But here's the thing about it, teaching accountability is an important aspect of personal and social development. Accountability involves taking responsibility for one's actions, decisions, and the consequences. Is a valuable trait that can lead to improved relationships, better decision making, personal growth. We're going to talk about a couple of tips. And one of the first things I think that parents can do, just teach their kids about accountability, just lead by example. And one thing, if you don't get it, a lot of times kids ain't going to be accountable because shit, mom and dad ain't accountable, right? If you ain't in a situation where your parents just own certain mistakes or whatever like that, you might not have an example, really truly know how to do that. I can give you that. But I do think as we get older and mature and we see things in life, we do know definitely what's right and wrong, and everything. You shouldn't steal, you shouldn't, bother folks, do anything to another person that can impede their happiness or their success or their growth. So we do know that. And sit here and trying to act like we don't know any better and stuff like that. I don't think that's the wisest or fast thing to do with that. But I do think with parents, you set that example of, showing that, hey man, listen, if I don't go to work, simply it's just going to work every day, just saying, okay, I'm doing this, and by doing this, I'm paying the bills, feeding you guys, make sure everybody's straight and everything. That's just accountability. I brought you guys into the world, so I'm going to take care of this responsibility. Now, the way I'm taking care of that responsibility may vary from household to household, from feeling to feeling and things like that. But you're seeing as a parent, like, look, you seeing this person taking care of business and stuff like that, right? When your dad or mom, just, mispaying a bill or forgot to do something. Oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Got to pay the ticket or pay the bill and stuff like that. How can I fix it and move forward or whatever? That's showing accountability. You owning your mistake and moving forward. That is so powerful for your child to see, like, damn, mom and dad ain't perfect. Damn, okay, Pop, I see you. Those kind of things instead of, oh man, they always on my ass. Man, everybody can't do this, that, and that. We're gonna make mistakes, right? Our children gonna make mistakes. That was one of, as a coach, when a kid when something bad would happen to a kid in the games, I always got on my other coaches about going off on a kid, especially some shit we hadn't taught the kid. And another thing of it is that, because I played sports my whole life, and I know how it feels to work all week and start and play the whole game. This in high school, and I know how it is to work all week and don't even get in the game. So I know that whole gamut. I know how it is to blow somebody out. I know how it is to sit here and just get trampled on in the game. So I understand how that makes you feel psychologically. And a lot of times, you realistically, and this is just applicable to life, that's why I love sports. The only way you're going to be out there making mistakes, only way you're not making mistakes if you're not out there. That's the only way. And a guy that gets ran over or scored on a touchdown and stuff like that, that's part of the game that's going to happen. You just got to make sure that it doesn't happen. You do well more than you don't do well, right? And those kind of things. I think when I would see coaches or people just go off on a kid, man, he caught the ball. That's gonna happen. I see guys. I'm just looking at pro football. It's guys out there getting balls caught on them all day and night, but they make a play here and there that make can change the game, and they make $15-20 million. So you telling me this guy that's getting all this money can make these mistakes, but your little child is playing at the damn park can make one or two or three? I mean, that shit don't make any sense. But I think a lot of times, typically most times people don't really know or have experienced it. And I just say that a lot of times, a lot of parents I know probably didn't play sports. But their heart is in the right place because they want their child to do well. They just don't necessarily know how to help, pick the kids up in them kind of situations. But, being, leading by example and showing like, hey, I messed up, I'm going to own it. This is how we're going to move forward. That is a whole lot more impactful than people can understand just for doing it. Because, again, avoiding situations, not addressing situations. Your kids, you can say it. Well, you know what you're supposed to do. You know what you're supposed to do. Girl, you know you should have did this, that, and that. They hear you, but the shit they see from you is totally different. Totally different. And we got to be very, very mindful of that as a parent, okay? Another thing is set clear expectations, clearly define expectations and consequences for actions. When people know what is expected of them and understand the potential outcomes of their actions, they are more likely to act responsibly. Let me tell you something. One of the worst things I think people can do is when you trying to develop people, especially like at a job, you saying, I just want y'all to work hard, or I want y'all to, just, produce so many of these. When you start giving people metrics, metrics, numbers to go by, you got clear expectation, right? And when you say that, just say you want to get you a raise, you want to, just, do you think it's time for your promotion? And you say, I work hard, I kind of work on time. Well, that's shit you normally supposed to do. When you got hired to the job, that's what you said you're going to do, right? But when you say, listen, we've increased production by 15%, with profit margin increased by this amount, there's been no lost production that's went in from the point I started to now, lost reduction has decreased by this amount. Now you got numbers. Now you sit here producing and trending, and now people can sit here and say, well, shit, okay, now I can see that. When you sit there and just tell somebody to work hard or go hard and study and everything, son, listen, I need you to listen. If you can sit here and give me a 3-point son GPA or whatever, if you can see and score this on the test scores, they actually got clear expectations, right? I want you to make sure that you get the trash out each week before you go. But I need this clean this day, that clean this day, and if this is taken care of, we fine, right? That's the thing about it. These are clear expectations. Not, God damn it, you stay. Excuse you, I'm not cursing, but you stay here. You can't do this. You can't do that. No, sometimes everybody don't process like that, right? But when you say clear expectations, people know we good. We good because now I can go back to you. Listen, you knew that you're supposed to take care of this 3 times a week on these days. You know that, and I don't necessarily know if you got to get so finite with everything. But for the most part, when you sit down and set clear expectations for people cool, because a lot of times people want structure. People want structure. You know what's funny is, I'm sorry, I want to say it's funny. But I'm sitting there looking, and I've been a youth mentor for over 20 years. It's amazing to me how, when they're not in these situations, just incarceration, how a person can act like, I do what I want, I do what I want to, whatever, damn rules, whatever. But you get locked up. I mean, people know what time they got to eat, bathe, read, single file lines. Because they tell them you got to do this, stand this way, walk this way, head straight. That, like, the expectations are there, and people follow accordingly. And it's amazing how the person that can never follow rules, people like, they don't understand, they don't listen. But when they get put into a situation where you're gonna have a damn guard go upside your damn head, or other prisoners go upside your head because you're getting them in trouble because of your behavior, everybody know how to listen. It's just amazing, right? You think it's damn near like magical. But for some odd reason, they learn how to process. And a lot of that comes in because clear expectations aren't laid out from the get-go. So that's what I'm saying as far as with your children. And let me say this. Your kids. Everybody got them different ones. This one gonna be hard head, that one gonna be one thing. But it's one thing to admit defeat before you try, but you got to try. You got to try. And when we talk about, are we teaching our kids about accountability? We got to understand um, that the way one kid interprets leadership, direction, and guidance, and another one may be different, especially from a processing standpoint. So we got to be very patient also when we laying out our plan as well. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Another one is encourage communication. Create an environment where open communication is encouraged. Encourage individuals to voice their concerns, mistakes, or challenges without fear of severe judgment or punishment. This helps in identifying issues early and finding solutions together. Great point with that. When we start talking about encourage communication. My grandfather, that's who raised me. Glad young parents. He wasn't so old school with just do this, don't say shit, just move. He wasn't. He was pretty much, we talked. Me and my granddaddy talked. I can say that he wasn't one of them guys that blew me off, and it encouraged, created me being a big thinker with doing it. Some of the stuff was me, but a lot of it just being able to communicate. There's a funny line in regards to you want to encourage communication, or you got your kid really talking to you like y'all peers. And again, if you're a parent, you're in leadership, everybody do their stuff different. But I never been the type of person being so cool with my kids telling me what the hell they're gonna damn do, and I'm funding, somebody's in charge. But when we start talking about encouraging communication, but getting insight, because at the end of the day, if I sit there and just me and my kids are doing a task, give an example. We need to get some stuff taken care of. Like, look, man, we gotta get this stuff done. I'm gonna need y'all to clean up this room and stuff like that. Y'all gotta, a certain way y'all want to try to do it. I can give an example. Well, maybe I would start with this, start in that corner, this, that, and that. Do y'all got another way y'all think about doing it? Well, Daddy, we may want to start, from the bottom up, top down, or whatever and stuff. I don't know. You sure? We'll try it out. That's communicating. Well, y'all sitting there looking at it with everything we're done. Now, if you say, listen, we need to go, y'all got to go to bed at 10 o'clock at night because, again, you're saying, hey, man, they need to get rest, and they didn't want to give you some kind of scientific study. Why we got to do that? Now, at some point, somebody got to be in charge. Somebody got to be the parent because I damn said so. It's not a damn debate because now the kid falls asleep in class. And you're trying to let them be their own person and stuff, and the shit backfire on you, right? There are some kids that are very, very gifted, and they can, extremely mature at young ages and stuff, and they can do certain things. But it's a reason why we recognize those people from being different. The vast majority are not like that, right? So that's why we start talking about encouraging communication. Just seeing how they feel, how they doing, how's your day, what's going on, school was bad, what's bad, what did y'all learn today? We learned a lot. We learned a lesson. What the hell is lesson? Having those kind of, those things going on, and we start those parts of accountability. The teacher was tripping. Why the teacher tripping? What did the teacher do? Well, she wanted us to damn read. But if she wanted us to read in class, well, dang, son, ain't that the reason why you go to school? Help me out. What's going on, and just having those things where they think like, what, I'm wrong, but you're talking to a kid, but just having those kind of conversations where it's so much one way, and the problem that comes up with that when it's just one way, as they get older and they get more mature, because we do know with our children is what the older the younger they are, the more control we got of them. The older they get, the less control we got. Right? You can't sit here and instruct your damn 16, 17, 18-year-old like you did your 4, 5, and 6-year-old. You can't, right? And you can sit there and try to beat them upside the head and punishment. At some point, they're going to be an adult on their own, and they're going to be like, F you, right? And when they're going through stuff, they're not going to want to talk to you or do these certain things. So you want to try to, try to have those, facilitate those kind of communication. Like I said, I ain't trying to sit and say be their friend. I'm very close with all 4 of my sons, but they know who the boss is. They know who the boss. We can sit here and we can have these conversations, but that's any one of my children will tell you right there at some point, like, look, man, just shut the hell up and do what the hell I told you to do. I'm cool with listening to you, what's going on and everything, son. Look, just one time we gotta get it done. And and it could be a rainbow of reasons, but I will say that I think every one of my children will say this, and that's 3 adults and 1 teenager, that I respect them as, when they were young kids, young men, and one that are grown, the 3 that are grown now, I respect them as a man. I don't talk to them and I mistreat them. Even my teenage son, hey, listen, but at the end of the day, I'm still in charge. And I think we just got to make sure we understand, that hierarchy of everything in regards to who's in charge, who the kid, not we at the same damn level, right? Because I don't know if friends can raise friends. I don't know of that, right? I don't know how that damn works, right? And that's why I say a lot of times we got these damn 30-year-old damn friend living in our damn basement. You can say, okay, it's okay, until something happens to make you feel bad about it, right? And encouraging communication is very, very important. Again, we're talking about, are we teaching our kids accountability? This is Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. Again, guys, the main platform is the Changing Lives YouTube channel. So if you have to leave, come back, go to Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden on YouTube. Guys, and listen, I apologize too. I have been saying for the damn longest, and I didn't realize it till yesterday, because I got the other YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, where we talk about personal finance and business entrepreneurship. I assumed that the link to the Changing Lives YouTube channel was in the bio section of the TikTok, and it's not. So I apologize about that. But definitely, if you Google Changing Lives hosted by Deonte Burden, Changing Lives hosted by Deonte Burden, and damn, I wish I could do it. TikTok, for some funky reason, they would kick your live out if you start putting too much personal information like phone numbers and certain websites on the tags that kick you out. So that's why I've been mindful of doing that. But definitely, if you can do that, and I apologize because I've been saying that for the past couple of weeks. Go to the link in the bio, but it's not. It's in the other one, I think, because the Changing Lives. I mean, the Mr. Short Dollar has over 20-some thousand subscribers. Well, at least that on all the platforms, and I'm about sure and I think a minimum of 10 to be able to do certain things, but I'm about sure that's what it is. So I apologize, but if you have to leave, or if you came in the middle of it, you can go to Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. You'll see the little blue man icon, but you can put my name in, Deonte Burden, Burden, and name. I know my name is on the profile, but if you Google my name, that YouTube channel will pop up. I know that for sure. It'll definitely pop up. A lot of times you put my name in, the businesses and all that stuff, all that stuff will come up. So definitely, if you Google my name, you can try to do that. But again, I apologize for doing that. And again, we're talking about we're teaching our kids about accountability. And one thing about it, and I just want to embark on this, being a youth mentor, and we start talking about these kind of things, I've dealt with a lot of young men. And I can just tell, the old adage, I didn't have a father figure. We talk about fathers and parenting and things like that. Guys, if depending on where you at, on the feed and stuff like that, you got a 50-50 chance of having a good daddy. So a lot of times, the shit people complain about, what I didn't have this, my dad didn't teach me this, my dad didn't teach me that. You don't know if your daddy was around that he was gonna be that positive reinforcement. I love my father, good guy. Teenage father, you meet my dad, Pop's cool as hell, life of the party, but he wasn't the best person. He's not been the best person to raise a kid because all the shit he was doing. Like I said, great guy, love my dad. Everybody know Ray, awesome dude, man, awesome dude. But that parent shit, that's not my daddy. That's not my daddy. Like I said, that ain't him. So I say that to say, I did it bother me as a kid. Played sports since I was 6 years old, all through it. Excellent student, got all kind of awards programs. Now, both of my grandfathers, my maternal and my paternal grandfathers, pretty much came to everything I had. So I did have male influence. I'm not finna sit here and say that. Both of my grandfathers did an awesome job and everything. I probably got about 5 or 6 cousins, all of us around about the same age. So we did a pretty good job of checking each other. But we're just talking about my father. No, hell no. He'll sit here and tell me sometimes, I think it is probably personal guilt, where he's like, man, I wish I was around. I'm like, no, man, love you, daddy, but things worked out. No, it wouldn't work. If you would have been around, probably could be locked up in the cell right beside your ass doing certain stuff. So sometimes we got to get out the things that we That's what I'm talking about, this whole accountability piece. When people say, well, my daddy went here, my daddy went there, you don't know. That's a 50-50 chance if you're going to have a quote-unquote good daddy or bad daddy. But inherently, everybody knows what right and wrong. You know what's right and wrong. You know you shouldn't kill, steal, beat nobody, rob. You know that, right? You don't need a father to tell you that, right? You don't need that, right? I think everybody's moral compass knows you born with it. You born with it, right? You know that. You shouldn't be out here raping, robbing, killing. None of that. You don't need dad to tell you that. But it's easy to get the shit off you to say that, hey, I wasn't taught that, I wasn't told that, so that's why I did that. That's bullshit. And the sad part about it is like it takes folks so damn long to realize nobody don't give a damn that you didn't have that. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. When you younger, and I think this is what a lot of people, a lot of times what happened, parents, especially maybe like the mother, depending on how it went, I feel bad, so let me try to get my mentor, let me get something else. Most of the time, the kids, and I'm not going to say it doesn't affect people, because I know it affected me. But at the end of the day, I still knew right from damn wrong. I knew I shouldn't talk back to the teacher. I knew I was in school. I should have did my schoolwork. My mama telling me, grandma telling me, you might get my granddad or somebody telling me, like, who the hell else? I mean, you know it. But that's the thing about it. If a person going to continue to make these bad decisions, I don't necessarily know if that's going to change it. Because again, it does help to have that image, have that influence there. It does help. But at the end of the day, at some point, they got to sit here and just say for themselves, from an accountability standpoint, man, you got to sit here and own this. But the problem come up is when the accountability standpoint coming up, because the kid acting up in school, the kid being disrespectful, the kid throwing up, well, I ain't got my dad, I ain't got my daddy, everybody feeling bad and trying to cope with the kid about, no, you don't have your damn daddy, but you need to sit your ass down and do your damn work. Your daddy ain't came. I don't know if he coming. Shit, you don't know if he coming. But what you do know, oh, Lord, talk to my mom. What's up, mama? What going on? I was talking about your baby daddy, mom. My mom done tuned in. Hey, mama. Love you, mom. I don't want to beat me up talking about a baby daddy. But, at the end of the day, when a lot of times people see a child have shortcoming, that could be a male or female, and especially when a parent is missing, mother, father, because it could be either. I'm gonna just say and say dad. Sometimes parent may have been deceased, mother maybe moved on, or it can be different reasons. But a lot of times, sometimes the guilt of the person that's with the kid, like, hey, well, we just want to get them some help because of this, that, and that. Not saying they don't need it, but I am saying that inherently everybody know right and wrong. Everybody know right and wrong, and you can keep on masking your guilt, trying to say, well, they need their dad around, No, they need to ask. Well, they need to be on punishment. Shit, you got to sit here at some point, get tired of that. My mom said, bye, Pooch. Love you too. That's good. Don't run. I ain't gonna talk about Ray too bad, mom. But like I said, man, I love my daddy to death. But I do think a lot of times people will try to mask that with their own guilt. But again, we're teaching our kids accountability. That's a big thing. I see that because, like I said, being a youth mentor I've been a member of 100 Black Men 7-8 years now, and board member, and I see it all the time. Do that, and that's one of my biggest pinches, that accountability. Like, look, man, stop fussing so much, whining so much about what you don't have. You don't know how that will be. Appreciate what you got, but what you do know is, these are rules and order, and nobody is going to get to a point, especially when you hit 18. They just want to lock your ass up. They ain't asking you about your damn family history, or daddy there or not. So you can spend 0 to 17 complaining about daddy. 18 and up, no matter give a shit. So the sooner that that can be conceptualized, listen, you don't have that. Not saying don't let it bother you or internalize it, but at the end of the day, you still gonna have to move in this direction to make you the best you possible. And it just had to be addressed with that. Again, we're talking about, are we teaching our kids about accountability? We're going through different things. I'm giving tips for parents to use positive reinforcement, reward, responsible behavior with praise, positive reinforcement. This can be motivated and continue to make responsible choices. And, again, when a kid do right, hey, man, good job. That's one of the I was a big proponent of that in coaching. And just like as adults, we at our jobs, like, supervisors come around, get on your damn nerves. You did this, that, and that. You don't have to have it, but it does feel good. Hey, man, that was a good job you did on the report yesterday. Hey, y'all got them orders out and stuff like that, man. Good job. It make you feel good, make you feel recognized and stuff like that. Kids like it too. Hey, man, I like how y'all, glad y'all got the room straight now, man. Hey, appreciate all the help y'all been doing and stuff. Just out the blue for the hell of it. Just kind of encourage that, create that environment where they feel appreciated. You don't have to, but again, just human psychology. When you feel appreciated, it does something for you, right? Okay, just keep that in mind. Teach problem solving skills. Help individuals develop problem solving skills so they can develop solutions to the issues they encounter. Teach them how to plan, make decisions, and consider potential outcomes of their actions. Hey, here's the deal, and this is one of the biggest things that I talk to young people about, and that's avoiding conflict. Far too often, when we see certain things go a certain way, right? This person acts stupid. We gotta respond. And I'm a big proponent. Like, as a man, you ain't gotta have the last word. Now, if you feel like there's something being put out there or done to you that can affect your credibility, your image. I'm trying to get the right word, but your reputation. Yeah, you need to address it. But just somebody says something to you, they don't like you or whatever, and everything. You don't spend no time with that shit. What we got? What's up, Mr. Mix-a-Lot? Avoiding conflict is definitely a skill, and that's one of the things about it. I think far too often. I appreciate that. I think and again, I'm a man, and I want to be sexist, but I really do have a problem a lot of time, with men going tit for tat with certain things. He said this, so I'm gonna address it. You don't have to address shit. Now, like I said, if it's slander or something like that, sometimes just like, look, it ain't gonna come out of it. You going back and forth, and what happened? You got two men looking like women back and forth fussing. Even as a young lady, like, you understand, you on a certain pathway, you doing certain things. You ain't really got to sit here and just go back and forth with somebody to do that. When I make the post on these videos, I post these videos, make these videos and do the shows, to help people. And everybody's not going to see the world the way I do. So I got called yesterday. I got called a bootlicker, Uncle Tom, pig lover, all kind of stuff when I made the videos. Now, here's the deal. Now, I'm sitting there looking at the comments, and I got, what was the dude name? Sexy Virgo 203, and the other dude was Gangster Panda. What I look like responding to him? Come on now. This man called, his name was Gangster Panda. Now, I can't sit here. That's the thing about it. People entitled their opinion, but I can't waste no damn time getting into that shit of, fussing with damn Gangster Panda. I got a YouTube channel for a reason. Let me make sure I'm put his feet. I got the YouTube channel for a reason, and that's for people to comment. Now, I don't want nobody sitting here talking about my family, my kids, putting out derogatory work. Y'all remember a couple years ago, my ex-father-in-law, he had his crazy ass putting all them lies and shit on my social media and stuff. Yeah, I got check shit like that because you're affecting somebody's gang. That's it, Miss Mix, like Gangster Panda. Certain things like that you got to address, but in the grand scheme of things, let shit go. Let shit go. I grew up on the west side. Anybody know me? I ain't no damn punk. But my grandma told me a long time, you ain't always gonna be in a position where you can turn the other cheek. And so I get that. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't because you sit there, you let shit go long enough, people, can continue to do this, or something. I'm a big proponent when stuff go left, you address it then. Don't let it keep going on. So I ain't sitting there saying let somebody punk you, but I am saying, like, look, man, if you sitting out here doing your thing, you out here making money, you're on the right track. You can't get into that bullshit. That's not going to be able to do that. And I think when parents can sit there and tell their kids that, listen, man, leave that alone. That's it. With me, I say most stuff ain't even worth addressing for real. And that's the truth. Like, and I think the more you can put in your kids' mind, and I understand with young people, and every parent need to think about this. When you young, you got so much going on: puberty, sex, drugs, hell, now sexuality, peer pressure, and everything. They got so much shit they dealing with, right? So I'm very mindful of that, even with my children. That they got a lot on their damn mind. They got a lot on their mind, And I don't want to give a old school answer to I won't say it's a new school problem. It's an old school problem, but it dealt in a new school way because they got more and more stuff. We didn't have social media. We didn't have social media when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got. And so I have to really be very conscious of the advice I give my children. I'm giving my children the advice in 2023, not 1993, 94, 95, right? And Mr. Law said, when you got something to lose, move different and you can keep it. Absolutely. Absolutely. But when I really want parents to think about what I just said. The problem, peer pressure, folks talk about you and stuff like that. The response you give, you can't give the response that probably been the best suitable or the easiest suitable with you at their age. Take in consideration what the hell they got going on now. Just for a minute. I can't sit here and say what's right, what's wrong, but just as a parent, please take in consideration because kids, man, they got so much more in their face. Porn, suicide, shit, all kind of crazy stuff that we didn't have to deal with. We didn't have to deal with. So you just kind of keep that in mind. You know, that's why I say I got to make sure that I give a 2023 response and not my 1993, 94, 95 response. Because, you know, I can be on this it can be as easy as F this person, this, that, and that. And sometimes it got to be something a little bit more methodical and thought out than that. You know, it may sound weird, but it is what it is. So that's just something to just kind of keep in mind for parents to do that. Because, like I said, I got 4 boys, and I think I've been a pretty good father. I'll be damned if I can say I ain't been no damn perfect father. But I think what's helped me out over the years, I had no problem with, you know, bouncing stuff off of the cats. You know, hey man, what you think about this? What you think about that? Not saying I actually went in what other people had, but when you start talking to other parents, talking to other fathers, you know, even probably talking to other mothers, you find that y'all might have a common problem, but y'all see it all totally different. Doesn't make one person right, doesn't make another person wrong. But just to kind of having them kind of conversation, maybe pull 1 or 2 things out of where they're looking at stuff can, you know, help you out. So I definitely encourage people to talk to maybe to other parents. Like I said, not sway you, but probably help your personal growth as a parent. Because I can tell you this, you know, when you have multiple children, typically your first kid is what I would call your mess up kid, because that's your first one you didn't know, you didn't get a manual, and so you make your mistakes. And as the other kids come around, you become mature, more patient, things like that. So you make less mistakes, you're more thought out with certain things. So that's why I say sometimes when you can bounce ideas with people, it can help you out with that. But Ms. Mixler, I say you have been an active and present father just what these kids. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And one of the biggest reasons why I think I am the way I don't think I know how the way I am because I didn't have my dad around. So I think I'm probably overparented with that, but I'll be damn. I ain't gonna sit and say like I didn't make no mistakes and stuff because I never did want people to go through what I went through. But that's why I want to have that conversation tonight about how we teach them accountability. Far too often we turn it on the news and doing certain things. These kids don't listen to this. These kids don't listen to that. But realistically, how many of us actually try to talk to these kids, right? And don't quit when we get the first piece of somebody, you know, rebutting or rebelliousness and stuff. They don't listen. Did we listen? Did, did we take every damn piece of advice? We didn't do stupid shit when we were young. I mean, we all did. It's just at the end of the day, how big a patience meter you're gonna have with dealing with kids, especially on home. Another thing we just say is to encourage self-reflection. Encourage individuals to reflect on their action and decision. Ask questions like, "What did you learn?" That's what we spoke about earlier. You know, I got my notes in here, you know, but I'm all over the place. What did you learn from this? What would you do differently next time? This promotes self-awareness and personal growth. That's the thing about it. And I always encourage, I did the video before, one of the biggest skills that any parent can get a child is the ability to think. The ability to think. In a world of social media, in a world of, you know, news being just pushed down your damn throat, not enough people think. Not enough people think. Not enough people process. Not enough people research. Uh, because the video looks good, because the person delivering the message looks smart, they fine, they say certain things, people don't question it, right? I tell people all the time, shit, you know, well, you know, fact check, man. I don't care. I ain't got no problem with it. You know, I've had a pretty successful career because I've been able to give people good information and everything like that. And I wouldn't have a good successful career if I had penchant of giving out bad information because people come to me because of that. That doesn't mean I should be scrutinized, but I always want people to understand. Look, these are my credentials. We're doing that. This is my track record. Look at the Google reviews and stuff with that. But still, double check me. I ain't got a problem with it. And people have to understand. You got to teach thinking. You got to teach your kids to think. You got to, and that's the thing about it. When we start talking about it, we teaching our kids about accountability. My kids know, hey, bro, I know you ain't stupid. I know you ain't stupid. I know your ass is smart. And that's one of the biggest things catch my kids. Like, damn, son, look, I know you got some damn sense. And when your kids know that, like, look, man, that your expectations are different than because don't say no stupid shit to me. Oh, what a dog ate it. Well, daddy, I didn't know. Why didn't you know? My kids know one thing that I keep pushing at them. When you tell me you didn't know, why the hell you didn't look it up? Why didn't you find out? Did you Google it? Did you do this, that, and that? Because they know I push that so much into them. Did you check? Why you didn't check? What we learned in the military was there's no excuse for ignorance. So at the end of the day, if you don't know, did you find out? You knew you didn't know where that place was located. You're supposed to be in there, right? Did you Google it? Did you find out? Because the things that are important to them, they'll find out. The video games, the songs, the videos, clothing sites, they'll find them no problem. But you mean to tell me if you had to be at this particular place at a certain time or turn these documents, you mean to tell me you couldn't do the basic research to get that? Don't tell me that bullshit. So that's one of the things we got to put that kind of pressure on our kids. Like, look, you're not stupid. You're not stupid. You're too damn smart to give me a dumbass excuse or a dumbass response. And put that kind of pressure on your kids to like, hey, man, you got to think. And that goes to our next one, hold accountable. Don't blame. It's important to distinguish between holding someone accountable and placing blame. Accountability focuses on acknowledging mistakes and taking steps to correct them, while blame can be counterproductive and lead to defensiveness. And those are things about it. Like I said, man, you know better. You know better. You know better. Like, that's the thing. But, hey, I can't give you that. Don't give your kids an out. Don't give kids, out. Don't give yourself an out. If you know better, look, man, shit, I shouldn't did that. I messed up. We human, right? When I went through my divorce, I think one of the biggest things, important things I wanted to make sure that I imparted on my children, daddy messed up. Daddy did this, that, and that. Why you do that, daddy? Shit. Well, this is why I did it. Now, it's easy to say, well, daddy, that ain't a good enough reason. And I can't have the same conversation with the 20-year-old that I had with the damn 10-year-old. I forgot the ages with all that time. So you got to make it age appropriate. But even just talking to my older son with this, and this is why that was done. Now, that doesn't make it legitimate, but I'm owning it. Well, your mama didn't do this. Well, man, I got tired of this, and I need to do that. I ain't finna get in that shit. I did this. This is what I did. And take what come along with it. But daddy, that don't make sense. I get it. I can't change it. When you get older, you might see it a different way. We can revisit the conversation, but that is why I did it. If you like it or don't like it, I can't change that. But this is what happened is, and this is why I did it. And I owned it. How did that go over? I don't know. I think it went okay and everything, but you never know. I always say this about people. You never know what the hell is going on between somebody's ears and stuff like that. But that was the best way I felt that I could handle that. Just be honest. Like, this is what was done. And when you be honest with people and do stuff, they might not like it, but they can't do and respect it because shit, it is what it is, But that's why I said being accountable, not blaming it. A lot of stuff I could have just blamed, and that can go career wise, they can go your family wise, relationship wise, throwing it on the other person. And again, the main reason is maybe the behavior of the things that's done by the other person. That may be. You can say, well, look, man, my old lady ain't hanging out with me. Your mama didn't do this, that for me. I was going to work. They wouldn't give me the respect I needed, this, that, and so I walked, whatever the reason. And it could be a fair reason. But at the end of the day, whatever decision you make, that's what you made. That's period. And I think as a parent, when you can tell your kid, look, man, well, this is what I did. And you own it, shit, your kids say, well, shit, I ain't like what daddy said, but daddy owned it. Daddy didn't run from that. You know what I'm saying? And when you don't run from a situation, that's a valuable teacher moment for any parent to be able to have with their children. Like, look, man, good or bad, this is why that happened. And I think that's worked for me. And I do think that's one of the biggest things I think a lot of folks, like I said, be be accountable. Don't blame that shit on nobody else. Don't defer. Don't divert it. Don't divert it. Don't divert it. Even though, like I say, it's a legitimate damn thing. Like, listen, but you just if you own it, own it. That's just the best way to do it. And then once you did that, and you be honest. Well, how about I told you that's why I did it. You might not like it, but that's what it was, and you be able to move forward from there. And that's one of the biggest things. Hold accountable, and don't blame. Next thing, and I think a lot of parents need to just think about this when we start talking about, are we teaching our kids about accountability? You got to create a supportive environment. Ensure the individuals feel supported as they navigate accountability. Mistakes are a part of learning and growing, and a supportive environment can help individuals bounce back from setbacks. If your kid hears you stupid, you mother, this, that, and whatever, you going off every time that they make a mistake, you don't know what the hell gonna come out of that. So I sit there and say that, hey, listen, man, you messed up, dog. You ain't the last time. I get a call from one of my kids' teacher, my baby boy teacher. She was saying that he didn't turn assignment in, but hey, she says, good kid, this, that, and that. I just want to reach out to you, Mr. Burden. But he has a couple days before, I'm gonna handle it this way. Cool. Baby boy came into the house. Hey, bro, I talked to your teacher. He said, I know. I said, well, why it wasn't turned in? He said, Dad, I was focused on this other thing and I turned it in late. He owned it. You couldn't do both at the same time. He said, Dad, I tried. I said, lady said you got a couple days to get this stuff in. When you get it, he said, I have it in tomorrow. We ain't had to go all this in my mother effort, da. Now, is every time he do something wrong, do we own it like that? Absolutely not. But there was just a point where you just like, look, man telling me that I messed up. This is why I messed up. I'm saying, son, because I want to address that because I don't want to make this damn something repetitive where you keep doing it. Do you have enough time to get it done? So, I just didn't get it in. You gonna get it fixed? Yeah, I'm fixing it. And he owned it. I can't ask for nothing more as a father. Now, like I say again, this shit keep happening, then we got a whole nother damn problem. I got to dress in a whole different way. But that's the thing about it. Create that kind of environment where your kid can be like, look, man, I messed up. Because what you don't want to have them doing is avoiding you when they're going through stuff. That is one of the worst feelings as a parent when you don't know what the hell is going on with your child and they're going with their stupid ass friends or some other person that's going to get them ill advice on how to handle situations. Because, I don't think any parent, everybody different, but I would think any parent, if you know at the end of the day, if you got another OG friend of yours, family member, that's going to reinforce certain things, give good advice, or redirect the child back to you, you cool with it. But the kid, you got these other people that are going to be influential and stuff like that. Because I'm telling you, I know some dumbass people don't sit there and try to say things to my children, and 95% of the time, my kids say, I talked to my dad, I talked to my mom, or whatever, and it didn't go too far. But sometimes it'd be like, where the hell you get that from? Uncle such and such, your auntie said this. Like, what the now you gotta go through all this, talk to them, this thing. You put your kid in a funky spot. So, but that's why I say if you got an environment set up where they feel comfortable with talking to you, and I'm not saying sit here and now have a way you're gonna handle it, but just kind of think things through. And one of the common things you got to think about as a parent, we have these discussions, is that we have to make sure that we're constantly thinking. Remember, guys, and I had to do the same shit as a parent, guys. We have to understand the shit we did when we were their age, the way problem was handled, got to be handled differently now because the kids got different stuff that they going through. Remember, like I said, the 2023 way and the 1990-something way, it still can be a solution, but we just got to take in consideration the factors. Because if you don't, you're going to miss out on something. That's just, being straight up with you as possible. Another key thing being is consistency. We're teaching our kids about accountability, giving tips about helping your kids become accountability. Consistency. Be consistent in applying consequences and expectations. Be consistent with applying consequences and expectations. Inconsistency can lead to confusion and make it challenging for individuals to understand what is expected of them. The standard is the standard. My old military ass, that shit wrote down in my damn kitchen. The standard is the standard. We can't go around. We ain't going to deviate from it. You know what GPA I'm expecting. You know how I'm expecting this house to look. You know how I'm expecting you to damn look. Right, wrong, indifferent. The standard, the standard. That's it. That shit go for y'all and me, right? The standard is the standard. And be able to stick with that, guys. Now, here's the deal. If you ain't consistent with yourself, you're going to have issues. You're going to have issues. That don't mean your kid ain't going to not have things that are different that you don't do. I'm not saying that, but it's going to be damn tough trying to fix shit with them. You ain't damn fix it on you, because we all know that our kids can listen to us, but they definitely look at us, right? So we got to just be thinking about that. We talking about being consistent. Being consistent. I can't be, I want to get on your ass and you better do this, you better do that. Then the next thing you know, you mad at me? I don't want you mad at me. This, that, no. Consistent. The standard is the standard, okay? Man, I want to make sure I miss no comments. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm running my damn mouth and shit. Want to make sure I miss no comments. How's everybody doing tonight, man? Again, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. This is Change the Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Tonight we're talking about, we're teaching our kids about accountability. And I'm going through a list of different things I think can help parents. We're teaching the kids about accountability. The next one is provide guidance. Offer guidance and mentorship, especially young individuals who may be learning how to be accountable for the first time. Share your own experience and wisdom. It's a lot to be given with your children when you share your mistakes and you share your setbacks, and they can teach you a lot about yourself and make you feel good about it. They're like, look, it's not one thing that you made a mistake. It's another thing that you were able to bounce back, or to look at the pathway that you were able to move forward. That's very, very powerful, because sometimes your children can look at you like you super mama, you super daddy. You don't make no damn mistakes. You perfect. But when you start being, vulnerable and sharing certain things, yeah, I did do this. Yeah, I got in trouble with that. Yeah, I thought I might have got that girl pregnant. Yeah, I thought I might have had this and that, all kind of stuff. When you can share that with them, damn, okay, cool. Daddy did do something stupid. Mama did do that. And when they think, like, yeah, man, I did get suspended. Yeah, your grandma came up there. Yeah, your nice grandma that don't fuss or cuss. Yeah, she beat the hell out of me in front of everybody. Those kind of things you teach your kids a lot. Like, okay, your parents are human. And it can help with actually, y'all communication and y'all relationship with doing certain things. So just kind of keep that in mind. Provide that guidance where, you're a mentor, and mentors teach, not just what's black and white, but also teach from experience, okay? Because a lot of times people can run their mouths and tell a kid to do something. Oh, shit, they ain't never damn done. Oh, shit, they ain't never damn done. I just known that just being a coach out there, parents fussing with the kids, you do it this way, do it that way. And I'm like, Pop, where you get that from? just not in front of the kid. I never disrespect the parent in front of the kid. Pop, where you get that from? Well, coach, I've been wanting to do this. He don't listen. He ain't disciplined. Shit, dad, shit, he 8, 9 years old. Like, what the hell you expecting? Like, you do have some kids that, like I said again, that are different. And those kind of, most of the time, the kids playing on Sundays. Everybody ain't the same way. You have some kids that have a different kind of mentality and a maturity. And those may be the ones that leading Fortune 500 companies. That doesn't mean your kid isn't bright or brilliant. But sometimes when you start looking at this kid and another kid, and you can get it twisted because this kid doing my kid should be doing. That's not the truth. I remember the kid that I coached youth football with my son. My oldest son, he played Division I, played at Vanderbilt, great athlete, high school state champion, sprinter in the state of Georgia, super athlete. But he had a friend of his that I coached. I mean, this kid could come off a damn cart and do anything. Baseball, basketball, football. That kid playing in the NFL right now. Great kid. My son was a very good athlete, but he worked hard. I mean, he was a mule. He trained. But his other kid, he worked hard, but his other kid was just more of a natural athlete. I'm seeing that on my son's best training day, he couldn't be him. Now, keep in mind, I'm talking about my child was a state sprint champion out the state of Georgia. State sprint champion. National ranked sprinter. Recruited Division I athlete, played SEC football. That kind of athlete. But I'm seeing another kid that will end up being a damn All-American in the SEC, still playing in the NFL now. But again, great kid. But I've been a damn fool to sit here and look. Boy, you should do that. He scored this many touchdowns. You should do that. No, hey, he different. He was different, and I seen that. It helped me probably because I played sports to kind of recognize certain things like that. But I know you can have certain parents that I seen it. Well, if he doing that, you should be doing that. Shit, I don't give a damn if you made your kid 2 or 3 times over. He ain't like him, and that's just how it is with certain things. Like some people just gifted and can do certain things that we all can't do. Spend less time focused on what the hell you can, what you can't do, or what your child can't do. Spend more time focused on enhancing what they can do and make them better. Okay, don't what somebody else got going on or whatever. That's just what they got going on. More power to them. Wishing them best. You need to spend more time enhancing what your child can do well. Okay. One of the last thing is encourage empathy. Teach individuals to consider the perspective and feelings of others. This can help them make more responsible choices they can take into account to impact their actions on others. And that's very, very key. When we start talking about teaching accountability, man, you got to sit here and look at the whole world of everybody, you being selfish, child being selfish, not owning certain things. Man, you got to understand, like, man, people out here working hard for what they got. You going to sit here and try to just skip lines, steal, try to get over on people because you don't want to sit here and wait or you want more money and things like that. Nah, that ain't how you do things. Cutting corners, doing slick shit, gonna get you the results from it. You may get a reward, i.e., money, fame, comfort situation in the short run, but it's gonna hurt you in the big time. Don't do people wrong. Keep your name straight. Do right by people. It may be a slower path to success doing it the right way, but you're doing it the right way, and it's a more sustainable path. And again, we're talking about teaching your kids about, are we teaching our kids about accountability? That's one of the things we got to take into consideration. Teaching accountability is an ongoing process that requires patience and effort. It is an essential skill that can contribute to personal success, healthy relationships, and a responsible society. And I think that far too often you sit here and look at so many times bad choices that our children have made. We got to deal with it. They didn't got in, certain things with school. They might have got in trouble with the law and all that other stuff. As a parent, we kind of stuck with trying to fix those particular things. But we got to make sure that our fear of them not developing is greater than our uncomfortableness of correcting it. Your kid, you worried about your kid don't want to speak to you because you got them on punishment. You worried about, them being pissed off or them not saying certain things and feeling a certain way because you got to go through some corrective measures for their behavior. It can't be that way. It can't be that way. So you got to, as a parent, guys, when we talk about teaching accountability, we got to be prepared to make some very, very uncomfortable decisions and know that we're making these decisions in the best interest of our child and be able to live with it and go through what come out of all that, okay? But listen, man, I've had a blast running my mouth, man. Again, man, deep condolences go out to Reek and her family and everything. I appreciate all you guys that tuned in, man. It was a great conversation. But if you can do me one favor, go to Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. We got over 700 videos on the YouTube channel. Go there. I just put a link to it in the stream. But if you're on Facebook and TikTok, go to Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. Subscribe to the channel. You guys know my other YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, where we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship. Make sure you go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. With that, man. But I just want to tell you guys, listen, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate our love, support. Matter of fact, while I'm on here, let me see if I can I push it in the chat? I don't think I can put that in the chat. No, I can't. Let me see. Now I want to see if I can link. Can I put a link? No, I can't. Damn, I didn't even notice that I couldn't do that on the let me see, comment. I'm gonna put this in the comments. Let me see. Oh, cool. I just put in. No, that's too much. I'm gonna put this in the TikTok so everybody can get this. Let me see. Changing Lives. I'm putting this in the TikTok comments so everybody can see that. Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. Just put it in the comments of the TikTok. See if I can pin this. Booyah. I need to do that for now. So yeah, that's the YouTube channel, Change Your Life, hosted by Deonte Burden. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Take advantage of all the great information there. We talk about, personal development, professional development, parenting, fathering, all that great information. But go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. Definitely want to tell you guys again, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all the love and support that you guys are giving us, with everything. Again, give us proud, for Rick and her family and stuff. But y'all take care of yourself. Had a blast tonight. And I talked with you some. I forgot. This is some gear from Mr. Short Dollar Gear. You can say done is better than perfect. But if you go to DeonteBurden.com, that's DeonteBurden.com. Let me put that in the damn chat. I'm sitting around in my mouth. I got my damn gear on. Put that on there. I got in the zone so much I forgot about trying to sell my stuff. Put it in the chat. Let me put this in here. Damn, I forgot I'm running my mouth so much. But if you guys go to DeonteBurden.com, most of the time we doing the shows, man, I don't get to engage like this because me and Lab be back and forth. But guys, go to DeonteBurden.com. They got a link for all the different stores from the Mr. Short Dollar and Change Your Lives. You better see this shirt. I got a lot of fly gear. Got the Christmas gear and everything like that, fellas. Christmas around the corner, Valentine wear, all kind of stuff. You just want some great positive information. Also, there's stuff from Mr. Short Dollar as well. But definitely, man, go to the YouTube channels, go to the stores and everything. But most importantly, keep looking at the information that we have and share it and try to apply it to your life to make it, make you a better you. My motto. Love you guys. Take care of yourself. And I appreciate our love, support. And I will talk with you soon.